I never thought I'd be the other woman. But there I was, huddled in the passenger seat of Mark's car, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs. The streetlights blurred into long, watery streaks as we sped down the empty suburban streets, far past midnight. "We have to be quick," he'd whispered, his breath warm against my ear as he helped me into the car just moments ago. Quick. The word echoed in my mind. A stark reminder of the stolen nature of our time together. It all started so innocently. Mark was the new manager in my department, charismatic and sharp, with a laugh that could fill a room. We clicked instantly, our conversations flowing effortlessly from work projects to shared hobbies and late-night talks about our dreams. He was married, a fact he never hid. He spoke of his wife, Sarah, with a sort of resigned affection, painting a picture of a relationship that had settled into a comfortable but passionless routine. I felt a pang of something sympathy, maybe. Or perhaps a flicker of opportunity. I was single, navigating the often disappointing world of dating apps and feeling a growing sense of loneliness. Mark's attention was a balm to my soul. He saw me, truly saw me, in a way no one else had. The compliments, the lingering glances, the inside jokes, they built a secret world just for us. It began with late nights at the office, disguised as work, then moved to lunches that stretched for hours. The first time he touched my hand across a cafe table, a jolt of electricity shot through me. It was wrong. I knew it was wrong, but it felt so undeniably right. The first kiss happened in the rain, a cliché movie moment that felt anything but. We were caught in a downpour after a work dinner, and he pulled me under the awning of a closed shop. The world seemed to fade away, leaving just the two of us, the sound of the rain, and the intoxicating feeling of his lips on mine. That night, everything changed. We crossed a line there was no coming back from. Our affair became a high-wire act of secret meetings and carefully crafted lies. We communicated through a private messaging app, using code words and deleting conversations religiously. Client meeting meant a rendezvous at a discreet hotel on the outskirts of town. Working late was our signal for a late-night drive to a secluded lookout point, where we'd talk for hours under a blanket of stars. Every stolen moment was laced with a thrilling mix of passion and terror. The constant fear of being discovered was a potent aphrodisiac, making every touch, every kiss, feel more urgent, more precious. I told myself I was just living in the moment, that it was a temporary escape for both of us. I convinced myself I wasn't a homewrecker. He was unhappy, he'd tell me. He and Sarah were just roommates, staying together for the kids, for appearances. "You're the only one who understands me," he'd say, and I would drink in his words like a lifeline. I became addicted to being his secret, his escape. But secrets have a way of poisoning everything they touch. My life became compartmentalized. There was the me my friends and family knew, the responsible, kind-hearted professional. And then there was the other me, the one who lived in the shadows, her phone always on silent, her heart always in her throat. The lies started small excuses for being unavailable, vague answers about my weekend. But they grew, weaving a complex web that I was constantly afraid would unravel. I'd jump every time my phone buzzed, my stomach clenching with the fear that it was a message from him at the wrong time. I started seeing suspicion in everyone's eyes. The night he showed up at my door, unannounced, was a turning point. It was almost 1 a.m. His face was pale, his eyes wide with panic. "Sarah's getting suspicious," he said, his voice a ragged whisper. "She found a hotel receipt in my jacket pocket." I told her it was for a work trip, but I don't think she believes me. The thrill was gone, replaced by a cold, sickening dread. This wasn't a movie anymore. This was real life, with real consequences and real people who could get hurt. He pulled me into a desperate hug. "I just needed to see you," he murmured into my hair. "Let's just go for a drive, please." And that's how I ended up here, in his car, speeding through the sleeping town. But this time, the rush felt different.
It wasn't excitement. It was pure, unadulterated fear.
"We have to be quick," he said again, glancing nervously in his rearview mirror, as if expecting to see headlights trailing us. "Before they catch us." Who was they? Sarah? The world? Our own consciences? In that moment, sitting in the dark car, the illusion shattered. I wasn't his escape. I was a complication. I wasn't a partner in a passionate romance. I was a co-conspirator in a lie. The secret world we had built felt less like a sanctuary and more like a cage. He wasn't a romantic hero. He was a man terrified of his own life falling apart. And I was the one who was going to get caught in the wreckage. We parked at our usual lookout spot, but the magic was gone. The city lights below seemed dim, and the air was thick with unspoken words. The silence stretched between us, heavy and suffocating. I looked at him, really looked at him, and I didn't see the charismatic man who had swept me off my feet. I saw a man divided, torn, and weak. And I saw myself, a woman who had sacrificed her integrity for stolen moments of affection. "Mark," I began, my voice barely a whisper. "I can't do this anymore." The words hung in the air, final and heavy. The relief that washed over me was immediate and overwhelming, even as tears pricked my eyes. It was a painful, gut-wrenching decision, but it was also a reclamation of myself. He didn't argue. Maybe he was relieved too. He just nodded slowly, his gaze fixed on the steering wheel. The drive back to my apartment was silent. The goodbye at my door was brief, just a hollow, "take care." As I watched his car drive away, I didn't feel the ache of a lost love. I felt the sharp, clean pain of a necessary amputation. The days that followed were hard. I had to see him at work, to act professionally while my heart was breaking not for him, but for the person I had become. I mourned the loss of my self-respect more than the loss of the relationship. I ended up leaving that job a few months later, needing a clean break and a fresh start. I never found out what happened between Mark and Sarah. I didn't want to know. Their story wasn't mine to follow. My story was about finding my way back to myself. It's a long and difficult path, learning to forgive yourself for choices made in loneliness and desperation. The affair taught me a harsh lesson. A love that has to be hidden in the dark can never bring you into the light. It thrives on secrecy and dies in the open. Now I'm searching for a love that doesn't require me to be quick. A love that isn't afraid of being caught, because it has nothing to hide. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've ever found yourself in a complicated situation, remember that your peace of mind is worth more than any stolen moment. Don't forget to subscribe for more true stories. See you next time.